What's going on, 60 gang? I'm back out here. Missed your weekend. Well, today is Friday. Here we go. Took a few days off, get the body some rest. Sometimes you gotta give your body some rest, you know what I mean? So I took a few days off, gave my body a rest. Now I'm back out here. Currently I'm in Ackworth, Georgia. Now we're headed from Ackworth. Let me see in our dogs. To Bill Bransbury. He is in Winterville. So we're heading to his house. 1 mile away. Yes. He has special address instructions. What's his instructions? He put the model number. That's his instructions. Okay, let's see what else is going on. Checking for collision. So, yesterday we were supposed to get the list from Epstein's file, and we found out that the FBI division in New York is resisting because there's information they don't want the public to know. So, they supposed to turn that paperwork over to Pam Bondi by 8 o'clock this morning. It's 9:04. It looks like the FBI division in New York is getting ready to clean house. They get ready to get rid of some folks up there. They are flat out denying the Trump administration. Somebody got their fingers up their butt, and Cash Patel is the director of the FBI, and so he should be cleaning house up in New York as we speak. That's what I
Coast, it is right.
Last day, February 20th, and then it's Fox and Friends.
All right, tune in Monday again. We'll be back with a crucial meeting at the White House today as President.
All right, let's go to Winterville, Georgia.
As they prepare to sign a minerals deal that could bring a lot of money back home. Plus, an accused cop killers back on the street in my home state of Texas. We're talking to the former district attorney that one of
The sun is out.
Why is he out? And you will never guess the surprising partnership the FBI is reportedly considering to get their agents in top shape. It's got 8 sides. Thinking out of the box and into the octagon. To a Fox News alert today, 2 of the 29 cartel members who were just extradited to the U.S. from Mexico, including one accused of killing a DEA agent back in 1985, will appear in court today.
Chanley Painter is here with all the details for us. Chanley?
Hey, good morning. So at least 2 of those defendants will be arraigned today in Brooklyn federal court, according to Reuters, including a drug lord who is alleged to have been among those responsible for the murder of a U.S. DEA agent Enrique Kiki Camara in 1985. This comes as Mexico on Thursday handed over 29 high-profile drug cartel members to the United States as part of an unprecedented extradition as the Trump administration ramps up pressure on drug trafficking organizations, illegal immigration, and fentanyl production. According to prosecutors, the prisoners face charges related to drug trafficking and in some cases homicide, among other crimes. And among them are members of 5 of the 6 Mexican organized crime groups designated earlier this month as foreign terrorist organizations by the Trump administration, guys.
Chanley, thank you very much. So keep in mind, we heard from the president yesterday that the tariffs are coming, and we're going to talk about that throughout the morning. They're going to come down hard on Mexico to the tune of 25%. And when Mexico heard about it, he started negotiating with the president, Sheinbaum, down in Mexico. So what did she do? Just a couple of days before the tariffs are supposed to go into effect, she releases these, we extradite into the United States. These 29 jailed cartel members, including somebody who is at the top of the most wanted list for 40 years. She also is pulling out all the stops. They say, this is Mexico's point of view, they've arrested more than 400 people since February after she announced that they were going to send 10,000 troops to the northern border for them. They've seized 12 tons of narcotics, coke, meth, and 120 pounds of methamphetamines and fentanyl. It's all about trying to keep those tariffs from happening, but they're happening on Tuesday.
Yeah, Donald Trump's going to hold them accountable. He wants this to end. He wants them to protect the borders. He wants them to stop allowing individuals, especially cartel members, people bringing fentanyl over, trafficking children across the border.
But the cartel can't be happy. I mean, Mexico is a narco state, and now because of the president's pressure, their number one enterprise, which is getting the people across the border, people pay tens of thousands of dollars to get across the border. That has been totally disrupted. Now you have the Mexican president turning over the bosses, because just because they're in jail doesn't mean they're not running the criminal enterprise from jail as well. And their tunnels are being sealed with concrete. I mean, it's pretty much all maximum pressure against the cartel, bro.
Yeah, two of the leaders are from a now defunct cartel. They've been in prison that long. There were cartel leaders, security chiefs from both factions of the Sinaloa cartel, including their finance operatives. Because guess what happens when they're here? We get to talk to them, and we get to interrogate them. We get to unwind them, and we say we can use their conditions as a way of getting them to talk. And it also goes to show those people that are now out and functioning in Mexico, this is what you're looking at. Retribution American style. You're going to be extradited out here. You're not going to have a cushy situation where the cartels, some would say, are more powerful than the government. So this is almost an out for the president of Mexico, perhaps to get control of their country for the first time in decades.
That's right. You're going to be in a box for 23 hours out of the day, no windows, and you may get some sunlight for 45 minutes a day. That can get people to talk.
Well, so she's trying to make nice with Trump. It's not going to work because he's going to still levy those tariffs on them. But what impressed me is just the fact that the DEA has had this picture of this agent who was murdered by this guy, murdered in 1985, up on the wall, and they've been looking for this particular guy. This particular kingpin was convicted down in Mexico, and he was supposed to serve 40 years in prison, but then in 2012, inexplicably, suddenly he's out. He was recaptured 10 years later, and we've been waiting to get our hands on him, and now we've got him.
And you saw the video of him landing in New York City yesterday.
Nothing's certain in the tariff world. It could change at any moment. We're a Truth Social post away.
It's a negotiation, and I like that we continue to get stuff as he uses it as a negotiation tool.
Right. The problem with the negotiation is it scares the living daylights out of Wall Street.
Yeah.
Wall Street went a little south yesterday, but then again, he could say something and it'll go straight up today.
Happening today, President Trump is set to host Ukrainian President Zelensky at the White House.
The two are expected to sign that crucial deal that could make the U.S. a lot of money.
We like that. Madeline Rivera is live in Washington on this Friday with more. Hey, Maddie.
Hi, guys. Good morning. That's right. The president says the minerals deal is beneficial for Ukraine and the American people, whom, in his view, will now be compensated for the military and financial aid the U.S. has given Ukraine over the last 3 years. The framework would give the U.S. access to the revenues from Ukraine's vast reserves of minerals. Ukraine's resources include titanium, which is used in F-35 jets, fighter jets, lithium, which is used for batteries and smartphones and electric cars, and nickel, which is used in battery and jet engine production.
We're going to be signing the deal together, probably in front of the media, and we're going to be having a good conversation. No, we want to work with him, President Zelensky, she said before. We want to work with him, and we will work with him. I think the president and I actually have had a very good relationship.
The meeting between President Trump and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky would mark a shift in the two leaders' relationship after a tense few weeks. The president notably calling Zelensky a dictator without elections. When asked yesterday if he still believes that's the case, here's what the president said.
Do you still think that Mr. Zelensky is a dictator?
Did I say that? I can't believe I said that. Next question.
But the agreement does not include security guarantees for Ukraine, which Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky sees as crucial to prevent Russia from attacking again. The President Trump, says Europe is responsible for those long-term security guarantees. Lauren, Steve, Ainsley, and Brian.
Well, that's going to be it. So I imagine both leaders are going to meet afterwards. They're going to meet around 11, and then we're going to have our third major press conference this week, right?
Yeah, that's exactly how it's turned up over the last couple of days with French President Emmanuel Macron, UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer, and now today, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. So we'll look out for that news conference. There's a lot that we're waiting to hear from the two.
Yeah, no kidding. All right, Maddie, thank you very much.
I just love his response to that question from the reporter.
Did I say that?
It just goes.
Did I call him a dictator?
And then the Trump smirk at the end. And this is what I was telling people from the very beginning. Don't panic. This is a negotiation going back and forth.
Absolutely.
And if you swing at the president, he's going to swing hard. But as he says, at the end of a fight, you hug it out. And he talked about his respect for Zelensky, because guess what? The deal is now done and the fight is
It's
over.
incredible. What, a week ago, this deal didn't look like it was going to get done, and now it is. Zelensky's going to the White House this morning at 11. And Donald Trump said much of European aid to Ukraine has been in the form of a loan. So they'll get their money back. But he said, we will not. Ours has been provided, and it will not be recouped. That's why he wants the minerals.
Right.
We can bring the minerals here. It will make us a lot of money. It'll also give Ukraine money to rebuild.
He wants he wants a better deal. Ultimately, though, the Prime Minister of the UK came in yesterday, and what he was asking for, forget about the mineral deal, what he wanted was, he was talking about a 30,000 member peacekeeping force from Europe, right there between Ukraine and Russia. He would like the United States to backstop it militarily. In other words, air support and also intel. But Trump said essentially, I'm not going to commit to anything until we sign the deal, and it's about peace. So once that happens, then maybe the United States will be involved some fashion, although Donald Trump has really wanted to get out of Ukraine for a long time.
But he did say, when it got the question from, I think, the British reporter, he said, we'll always have the British's back. He goes, they're fine fighting for, they're a great fighting force. And they don't usually need our help. But if they do, we'll do it. So I know what everyone's getting at. If Vladimir Putin thinks he can overwhelm a 30,000 member European force, that's beyond bold. But if the U.S. is coming over the top, he wouldn't even think about it. I also thought it was interesting, U.S. and Russia had talks yesterday at a lower level, but they're talking about reinvigorating their respective embassies. And I think the next thing we're going to see, maybe as early as this weekend, is a Vladimir Putin meeting with President Trump, or right below, or a follow-up. Because now it looks like Europe is in lockstep. Zelensky is in lockstep, different from a week ago. So now all the pressure, not that he feels it, perhaps he does, is on Vladimir Putin. Oh, you don't want that 30,000 person force? Well, what's the problem? If you're not going to invade, you're not going to have a problem. You have a problem with the U.S. investing in another country? What's the problem? And the question is, are you going to shut down this, this fighting force? And would you return those 20,000 plus children that you kidnapped from their families and have put in other Russian families and orphanages in order to make them Russian? So I think the president mentioned to me on radio last week, he goes, I think I can get him to give those kids back. That's got to be a primary. That'll be a very good confidence builder.
So about a week and a half ago, we were talking about the Munich security conference, and J.D. Vance was over there, and he was talking and gave a speech, and we had it live right here on Fox and Friends, and we were all listening to the speech in shock at some of the things he was saying was happening in the UK. Like he said, there was this British Army veteran who was convicted of breaching a safe zone around an abortion clinic. The man was out there just praying in that zone, praying silently, because he said years before he and his girlfriend decided to abort a baby, and he felt he wanted forgiveness and he wanted to pray for that baby. So he went in front of this abortion clinic and prayed for his unborn child. And then he cited, J.D. Vance, the Scottish government was warning people against praying in their own private homes, even silently praying. He said, I have a problem with free speech. So he had an exchange with the Prime Minister Starmer of the UK. Listen to this.
Great. Yeah, look, I said what I said, which is that we do have a
that there have been infringements on free speech that actually affect not just the British, of course, what the British do in their own country is up to them, but also affect American technology companies and by extension American citizens. So that is something that we'll talk about today at lunch.
We've had free speech for a very, very long time in the United Kingdom, and it will last for a very, very long time. Well, no, I mean, certainly we wouldn't want to reach across US citizens, and we don't, and that's absolutely right. But in relation to free speech in the UK, I'm very proud of our history there.
So J.D. Vance taking a shot at him in the Oval Room, where he essentially said, okay, we believe in free speech, so do you. It's just different. We have it a little different than you do, because here you can.
J.D. Vance is going to be speaking this morning at the National Catholic Prayer Breakfast.
2 days ago. So much is going on in Washington. It's hard to keep track of all of it. Kash Patel, the new director of the FBI, apparently was having a video conference with the 55 field offices that the FBI controls. And, he said, okay, I'm your new leader, and, give me a chance. I'm going to earn your respect. He also said one of the things was, one thing I don't want anybody to do, I'm sick and tired of the leaking. So the leaks have got to stop. So fast forward about 24 hours and there is a leak. And the leak is this, and it is something interesting. And as you can see from the banner right there, it sounds like Kash Patel, who lives in Las Vegas, which is where the UFC is based. He's got an idea to get Dana White's company essentially to help them get FBI agents into primo shape, which is interesting because FBI agents normally are in great shape anyway, but the skill set for UFC fighting is a little different.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Anne.
Well, they just want to partner with Ultimate Fighting Championship, or UFC, which Dana White is the head of, to help the fitness standards, which, I mean, we've all probably trained. I know I've had a few classes with a mixed martial artist, and why not?
Yeah.
I mean, it's wonderful training, and it can help you defend yourself.
You've trained with some UFC guys?
Well, with
Let's see
mixed
some
martial
moves.
arts guys, just like to learn how to defend yourself if some guy comes up behind you or comes in front of you. Anyway, why not? Extra training. It's wonderful.
Well, the base of the UFC is jiu-jitsu. And there's a self-defense component of jiu-jitsu. Many law enforcement use that. I think this is a great tool.
Yeah. I think the cops here, like New York City, had over 4,000 assaults. So these assailants are getting bolder and bolder. That's right. And they put their hands on you. Yep. You have to quickly be able to neutralize. And a lot of these guys are bigger than you. That's like, right. For you guys, it's probably new. It's probably you training a little bit. But I actually sparred with Tito Ortiz just to show him what I had. And I didn't have a chance to get in my proper gear. But that's, again, he was trying to throw me off with the blonde hair. And then he went, but I let him get in there. And then at some point, I don't know if we have all the video. At the end, I would end up eventually winning this. I would actually, you don't see at the end, we don't have enough time, but at the end, I would flip him over and he submitted.
So, Brian, you're suggesting that Tito is the FBI, and then you are just some random bad guy.
Right.
And so the FBI agent is going to be able to do this to the bad guy to essentially make America safer.
It looks.
Brian, how much do you weigh? I mean, he's just treating you like a rag doll, and he's talking, and it's just like
conducting an
effortless.
interview.
Yeah.
Do we have the one of Tyrus?
Well, no. I think there's a lot of people. I think the FBI, if they were watching that, they could have learned a little bit, right? I mean, right there, they couldn't pick up.
Let's not do that.
Can we see it one more time? Watch how Brian whips his leg around his head.
Right, I was trying to reverse the whole thing, and eventually you'll see at the end of the show, I would actually beat him, and he would submit.
Well, maybe
maybe
that move is that a Massapequa move right there, where you try to
for the wrestling team. Yeah, and you only learn that in my town. Where a lot of times in fights I end up on my head, so I have some experience.
Pile driver.
Yeah, pile driver. He does not know what he's dealing with. At one point, he just wants to bail out, and he realizes at this point, I got too much. It's too much here. This could get ugly. Yeah.
So, Brian, you were supposed to sprawl. When they go for your legs,
you sprawl. Right.
go on top
That's
of
your
it.
style.
But you just accepted it and then allowed him to.
Right. I find myself, I'm at best when I'm pointing towards the ground. My hands towards that. So,
Usually,
that's what I feel like I'm at my own.
in wrestling, there's a takedown.
Right.
Usually, there is not a pick up.
Right.
He just picked you up.
There's a lot to learn from
While he's talking
There's a
and
lot-
wearing a suit.
Right. There's a lot to learn there.
Yeah.
So if you wanted to, I'm going to play this in the break so you guys can.
What not?
Good idea.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
You know what? Let's just send a copy of that down to the Hoover Building.
A wave of Jeffrey Epstein files, but stopping short of releasing his client list. And Attorney General Pam Bondi is now accusing the FBI of withholding thousands of additional pages and is demanding that they be delivered to her office by this morning at 8 a.m. FBI Director Kash Patel, just talking about him, says no stone will be left unturned when it comes to revealing the full truth behind the Epstein case. The Senate teeing up the final confirmation vote for Trump's education secretary pick, Linda McMahon. Lawmakers voting 51 to 47 to move McMahon to a final vote, which is expected to take place sometime next week. And Trump's labor secretary pick, Lori Chavez-DeRemer, is also one step closer to securing her spot after the Senate Help Committee advanced her to a full floor vote with Democratic support. And did you see this? Kind of funny here. Players from the New York Yankees challenged to write the name of the team in cursive. And boy, did some of the Bronx Bombers struggle. Watch this.
No shot. Nope. I literally don't even know how to do it. Yeah, I can't even do it. I'm ashamed. Tell me if I got that right, though. The K is one getting it. It's the best I can do right now. How do you do the K?
Well, that refresher course comes as the team gets back in game shape during spring training in Tampa. Guys, it's becoming a lost art. No one's learning cursive anymore.
Well, how do you sign your name? Don't you have to sign your name?
Well, they all do for their multi-million-dollar contract.
That was such a big deal. Second grade at Pine Street Elementary School, that's when you learned cursive, and we were so excited to learn it.
Yeah.
But don't you remember, they were like, it's so much easier, it's more advanced.
Yeah.
It's faster.
And you never have to pick up your pencil.
Well, I feel like I forget some.
What's the reason for that? Why aren't they?
I just asked AI. While not universally taught, cursive is still being taught in some schools across the United States.
I think our school does teach it.
But it goes to show you how long. When was the last time you wrote somebody a note?
Well, I just always remember being confused when I was little and wondering why there were 2 bumps for the N and 3 for the M.
Right.
Can we
We're
remember
still trying to-
one too many for
doing
each?
the Q.
You could be a Yankee.
Yeah, I know, right? They struggled with the M's and N's too. I know people out there know
And
what I'm
remember the
saying.
Q was so weird?
Yeah, and the Z.
Yes.
Once again, it puts all the emphasis on a keyboard, which is not very helpful because we need
that's true.
less
So
texting.
when the younger people write a note, they print it.
They text it.
I'm telling you right now,
They don't write
President
notes.
Trump,
They text.
President Trump's next executive order
Don't say that.
is going to say cursive is going to back in schools, and he's going to sign it the way he does.
Yes.
Right? Which is, by the way, pretty good.
Yeah.
He has a pretty good signature. Meanwhile, Donald Trump's first month in office, a complete 180 from the last 4 years. Wouldn't you think? The biggest difference we've seen yet.
Thank you, as always, for watching. This is a Fox News alert. The Epstein files have been released. We're pouring through all the documents right now. We're going to bring you the latest throughout the show. Also, just moments ago, a federal judge in California, William Alsup, appointed by Clinton, blocked the Trump administration from ordering the firing of probationary government workers, ruling that the terminations could be illegal. More on this in moments with Professor Turley. But first, it's time to put the pedal to the metal for Doge. Now, while the left is, of course, astroturfing the so-called resistance to Trump, based largely off manufactured stories of phony outrage over Doge cut,
Hello?
Hey, this is Ronnie. I talked to you last night.
Yes, sir.
Hey, we won't be needing you. I decided, and my wife, we decided we're just going to go buy a new dryer today because this thing's old.
Okay, you sure about that? Because I do have the switch.
So you think that's what it is?
Yes, sir. I got it right in my pocket right now.
Well, let me call her make sure that's what she wants to do, and I'll call you right back. Tell you either
I'm
way.
on my way to Watkins,ville and then I'm headed to your house.
Okay. All right, then.
But I'll definitely save you some money, though, brother.
All right.
All right.
I'll call you right back.
Okay.
All right, bye.
Your number one source for police body cam footage in the state of Georgia. We hope you enjoy our next episode. Have a great day.
Hey, how you doing? I'm Sergeant Shit with the police department. I'm out with you because we got a call about you and your car over at the Kroger on College Station Road. Can you tell me about that?
Let me call you right back. When?
About 30 minutes ago.
It wasn't me.
It was your car driving away, at least.
Oh, well, I don't have anything to check my car.
Okay, where did you go after College Station, after the Kroger?
I've been at home.
Where's that?
Athens Garden.
Athens Garden? Well, we've had officers at Athens Garden, so I believe that's slightly untruthful.
I did go straight back home, but I left and I just left from the store.
Oh, okay. All right. Do you have a driver's license on you, by chance? Point out, I'm out with Ivory Brown. You were your registration suspended?
Yeah, I couldn't afford to get it right now, but I paid my insurance and stuff because it got towed because my cousin had jumped out of it and ran and stuff, and I just haven't got it right.
Okay. I saw you driving by Athens Gardens. Where were you coming from there?
The store in cigarettes.
Oh, what store was that?
The Murphy.
The Murphy. Okay. And you said you have nothing in here from Kroger?
No, sir.
All right. You mind if I take a look? All right. Is this your daughter?
My son.
You're sorry. Can't see in the back.
Yeah, and that's just my baby bag and stuff, but I don't have nothing from Kroger.
What's in this?
It's my gas can.
Gas can, I got you. Sometimes you run out of it.
It's just all my clothes.
And you're saying you weren't at Kroger at all?
No, sir.
If they have video surveillance showing that you were there and leaving without stuff, why would that be different than...
I'm saying I didn't get anything from Kroger.
You didn't get anything from Kroger?
Hey, Sergeant. Nothing. I don't have anything from Kroger. That's a tissue from my mama's house. A while back, well, not today.
Is there anything in this backpack?
No, that's my baby bag. It's my boot bag. That's all that is, my
Some
boot bag.
bags?
Yeah.
Where are these bags from?
The Target.
Target?
But no, I didn't get anything from Kroger.
Okay. Well, how come you're telling me you weren't at Kroger when there's people clearly saw you at Kroger and there's surveillance of you leaving the Kroger?
I didn't get anything from Kroger. You see my car?
Okay, can you open that door for me? Alright. And so you just came from Murphy's, right? You didn't go anywhere?
The Perry's.
Perry's?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't have really family out here. My mom and grandma dead, so no, I didn't go anywhere from.
That flashlight?
Yeah.
That's pretty neat. Alright. Well, we're going to confirm with the officer who went out to the scene and see what, I know,
Well, can we pull out these people's yard?
no, we stay here, it's fine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Where were you going to?
I don't know.
Why did you pull down here?
I was on the phone.
Okay. Alright. When was the last time you've been home?
I went back home. I've been home like in the last 5 minutes, but then I went to the store to get cigarettes.
You weren't last home in the...
I'm saying I pulled in, then I forgot that I got some needed cigarettes. And I pulled back in.
I've been sitting outside of your neighborhood for at least 30 minutes.
Sometimes
I've been looking for your car because you got the flags on it.
Yeah, sometimes I park in the car next. I'm at the yard, the apartment next door, and go to bed. Sometimes.
With a kid? You're not making no sense, Miss Brown.
No, sometimes I just park back there.
Honesty is key, Miss Brown. Honesty is key. Yeah. Have you ever been arrested for shoplifting before? Never, ever? Huh? Could turn into either getting a ticket or being arrested, so
Lord have mercy.
don't close the door.
Well,
Turn the car off, let me get the keys.
I mean, I wasn't closing the door because I'm going to go anywhere.
Okay, well, I just want to make sure that doesn't happen, especially with a 1-year-old, 2-year-old there. You can call somebody. Live right next door, you got no friends? Again, it could be something as simple as getting a ticket or, especially, yeah. Why would it be a ticket if you said that you weren't involved in it?
I don't even have anything in the car. I ain't stopped nowhere.
So can we both say that you were at the Kroger?
Yeah, I went to Kroger.
Okay, all right. So we got there. All right.
But I don't have...
You were never confronted by a loss prevention manager or store employee at all? Okay. You never walked out with meat or anything like that?
I don't have anything.
Well, I know you don't have any. It's been a long time. You could have easily went to someone else's. You could have sold it to somebody else. You could have done any of that during that time frame. So, Ms. Brown, you already lied to me once about you not being at the store. We've already confirmed you were there.
Okay, yes, I was there.
Okay, and then what?
I just had got some
Cleaning products. Nothing else. What kind of cleaning products did you take?
Other stuff, and I did get some food.
Okay.
But it was for me because I just needed something to cook at.
Okay, where is that stuff now? You dished it where?
On the road back there.
Where at? Which road?
Like the back with Davis.
With Davis, or you threw it out of the car? You didn't stop at a friend's house? You just threw it out of the car? You think, oh, the gig's up, let me just get rid of all the stuff that I took? Let me just get rid of all the stuff that I took?
Well, you probably traded it considering what it was, right?
Huh?
What all did you get?
It was just some meat and some
Tide Pods? Yeah, which, I mean, everyone's using those to trade for drugs and stuff, so do you have a drug problem?
No.
What do you trade them for?
Because I have a job and I was trying to pay a couple years.
I know, so then obviously you wouldn't throw it out the window, so I'm saying, what do you trade it for then?
I didn't trade it for anything. I don't have it.
You don't have to get an attitude from me. I'm the person who's about to decide if you go to jail or not. Okay? So you're shoplifting with your child in the cart, okay? That's what the manager had a problem with. Otherwise, they probably would have had a different response right then, okay? So, is that okay? How old is your daughter? It's a boy? How old? Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Okay, I talked to her. She said okay because she just wanted to get a new washer and dryer because she just wanted to make sure she had a dryer today.
If it turns out it's more than it's worth, I'm going to let you know.
All right, because I mean, if it's just and I think it's a switch myself.
I do too. But let's find out before you buy a new one.
Okay.
Right,
And what time will you be here?
I'm headed to Walkenville right now. I'm scheduled to arrive at 11, but when I leave there, I'm headed straight for you.
All right.
Because I live in Loganville.
Okay. All right.
I'll call you when I head your way with the ETN.
Okay. All right. Thank you, buddy. All right. Bye.
Well, there's many ways to
Yeah, we can't.
But after, sometimes things are supposed to be.
What's your history with shoplifting? Have you had some convictions? You've never had any convictions? You sure? I'm gonna look at your criminal history. I'm just trying to make sure it's not a felony. Okay. Do you understand what makes it a felony? If you do it enough times, then okay. It's not this stuff like you see it on TikTok or whatever, where folks just going in and getting stuff and nobody can say anything to them. Georgia's not like that. And then we get to determine whether or not we make the arrest, sign the warrant, okay, and go from there. Do you though? Kind of hid it in the woods. You didn't just throw it out. She's saying that it's out there, that she could get it. I mean, for what it's worth.
Where at? I'm with David.
Okay, honestly, truthfully, I dropped it at my cousin's house. But I can go. I did take it to my cousin's house. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all no more. But I can go back and get it.
I think that's.
Where's your cousin's place at?
It's off of Wood Davis.
Off of Wood Davis. Do you have an actual address?
I don't know it, but I can go over there.
And the name of the road? Your cousin's name?
Pinky.
Pinky, yeah.
I know all my cousins by first and last name.
She's really married to my cousin Duck, honestly, but like her husband Duck is my cousin. And
Duck or Doug?
Duck. We call him Duck. But I can go back and get it from his house. If you guys want to follow me here or take me there.
I would just go to it.
Yeah, that's not bad. Do you have somebody that can come and get him?
Please don't arrest me.
Yeah, we're past that point. Yeah, too many times.
I can call them on the phone.
Too many tries to tell them the truth, okay?
I can call them on the phone and they can bring it. I promise to see.
Well, we're not going to bring a bunch of spoiled meat now.
No, it's not spoiled. I just got it.
They're not going to be able to resell it, though.
Yeah, they can't resell it. They have
Please, y'all don't arrest me.
Yeah, just call somebody to get him, and it'll be a lot smoother that way, okay? So.
But then I gotta go to jail.
Well, that's what happens when you commit crimes.
We're going to have to do that not in the presence of your son.
Yeah, I mean, and that keeps him from seeing, he didn't know what he was seeing at
No, but how am I gonna, I gotta move my car.
Well, you live right at Athens Gardens, so you can call somebody that can come get him easily. If not, then you know the route we'll have to go. We'll call it.
I can go back and get the stuff, y'all. I promise
that's not an option anymore, okay? We're giving you a good option of doing the right thing for your child, okay?
Mom, can you come get together? I'm over here.
Surely not. I'm try. Surely not going to try to take off.
It'd be a good time.
Off of Meadow Drive.
For Kyle.
I think that'll be a good time.
She's testing it. She's testing Kyle.
It's on, okay, you know that
Did we
tie
go
shop
with that
right
child abandonment?
on Mexican Road? The tie shop right across the street?
It's on.
Come on and get TJ. Are you gonna be able to get me out of jail? He right here in the back seat. I'm off of Meadow Drive.
You gonna go check her?
Yeah, they're going to look up.
It's across the street from this shop right here. I don't know what's
Look, the intersection's right there. You got the stop sign.
behind the Mexican restaurant. It's behind the Mexican restaurant, Mom.
Where's she at? Athens Gardens?
She up in North Avenue. Yes, behind the Mexican restaurant.
You got somebody closer that can come?
No, just my aunt. I mean, she my aunt, but I'm calling her. She said she pulling out her driveway.
Okay.
Okay.
Just have a seat so your son doesn't think anything else.
Okay, sit down, please.
And I mean,
People bring this stuff.
well, and I'll tell you, look.
Yeah, but I got one baby in school.
But the answer to that question is this, okay? And it's not because we're being mean about it, all right? It's this. Once it's done with and you have a chance to talk to the police and tell the truth, just be quiet for a second.
I was scared. That's why I did it, because I was scared.
But here's what you do.
Go to jail.
When you have the chance to tell the truth and everyone's saying, look, you're already caught, okay? There's video, there's a manager, there's your tag, they got a picture, and we're telling you all that. And then going forward, we say, well, just tell the truth and help yourself out.
I'm telling the truth. I'm telling you, I can get you guys the stuff from over there if you want to take me, and that's the truth.
Well, what we said is you had a few times to tell that version.
Because I was afraid. Why wouldn't I be afraid if I'm scared I'm going to jail? That's the only thing. But I promise you, I can take you to get the stuff.
Here's what I'll tell you.
Just be a fine.
Is you got some veteran officers here that are willing to talk to you like that and not be the officers that just put you right in handcuffs.
I know, but
and do that with your kid and everything.
That's the only
Ivory, we already knew the truth when we were talking.
Yeah, that's what it is.
I mean, but
we wanted to give you an opportunity to be honest.
But
And you know what would have happened because we talked about it? Would have been like, all right, you got your kids, so we won't worry about it right now, but you have to get taken care of.
Stuff. I promise it's the truth. I can call them on the phone and everything, and they can.
But it took a bunch of different routes for you to get onto the truth. We hear you, but I mean, we're just going in circles now.
I'm scared to go to jail because I know when I go to jail, I don't have any type of cash or money to get out. I'm already struggling, and I know she's not going to come get me out. And then I got my baby at school, and I'm the only person that's able to get her off the bus or pick her up.
Well, your mom can do that as well.
She's not on the list.
Yeah. What school is it?
Game school.
Okay, we can take care of that through the SRA. What's your mom's name?
Carolyn Valentine. And she's my aunt. I just call her mama.
That's fine.
What's your daughter's name?
Her name's Talia Brown.
Here, just hang right here, okay?
I don't know if she's on the list or not, but I can call.
It's all right.
Hello? They locking me up out that stuff at Kroger. I need somebody to come get me out.
What grade is she in?
Stay there.
You heard me, Pink? The police is locking me up about the
you're
stuff at
gainesville,
Kroger. So I don't know how in the world I'm gonna get out.
Hey, Ivory, what grade is she in?
Pre-K.
Pre-K?
Yeah.
Is the pre-K a part of the school?
And sister on the way to get me.
There's a
they don't take me
little
to
girl
jail.
there. Her name's Talia Brown.
And I don't know how I'm gonna get out. I'm gonna need somebody to come and I know I have a preset fund once I get out here, but I don't even have the money to get out of jail.
Hey, what's your mom's name?
Carolyn Valentine.
It's her aunt, but it's her aunt. But.
Ah, she's on the list?
She is?
She's on the list.
Okay.
Okay, that's cool.
She might need to go pick up her.
Yeah, she's on the list.
Hey, C90, sorry.
She'll be able to get you down.
Can you hear me? Sorry, my Bluetooth was hitting. I'm out on this stop, 49, for the shoplifting suspect. Could you connect me to the manager from Kroger? Would be the original complainant from the call, David Folks. Just get him to do a barring over the phone. To David Folks, yeah, if he'll answer. All right, thanks.
Oh my God. Alright. Can we go get the stuff from the film? I just got off the phone with the lady.
We don't need this stuff anymore. Because Kroger can't even sell it.
Oh my God, I don't know how. out of jail. I don't know.
How many shoplifting convictions do you have?
This will be my first shoplifting.
Well, then it'll be a misdemeanor because it's not over $500 worth of things that were
Was
taken.
it $500?
That's what I'm saying. So it's going to be a misdemeanor.
give you a bond.
Will I get a set bond today, or I have to wait till tomorrow?
You'll get a set bond today, but I don't know how much it is. It's just a misdemeanor shoplifting.
Nice.
Somebody got to know my mama.
The Kroger manager didn't answer. If you could try him back a couple times, then we'll try to get this borrowing done over the phone. If he answers, I'll call back in. We'll let your mom determine what she wants to do, or your aunt, when she gets here.
I got that manager on the line. If you want to call me connected, I'm at 7210-7210. That's 2249. That criminal history's on there under 2290 badge. That's correct.
Hey, good. How are you, sir? All right.
Hey.
Okay, we'll call you.
Are you both connected?
Hey, Mr. Folks. Hey, Mr. Folks. This is Officer Ipaduglia. So we had a traffic sergeant that actually located the vehicle and made a stop, and she admitted to the items that she took, but she had already left them at a relative's house. So y'all Kroger's wanting to go ahead and do charges. Is that correct? And go through with an arrest. All right, then just hold tight, and I'm gonna put you on speaker and let you do the borrowing for 2 years, okay? You just all you gotta do is just tell her borrowed for 2 years. All right?
Okay. Bye. All right. Bye bye. I'll call you back. Hello.
Hold on speaker.
Hello.
All right, you can go ahead and tell her.
Okay, thank you.
All right, that's good, and I appreciate it. I'll make that in the report, and then we're working some things out with the parent for the child, but then she'll be going to jail after that. All right. Yeah, just like I said, flag whatever on those, and should be a red Michael Kors shirt. Of course, you know what you're looking at because she had a kid in the car. It's actually a little boy, but yeah. I think they originally thought it was a little girl in the car, but it was a little boy. All right. All right, no problem. Have a good day. Thanks. When you're too close to the car, the Bluetooth connects to the car.
It's got a couple of no problems, like some battery chargers and stuff. And she has a little bit less like taking, so she was shopping.
Yeah, I mean, I've kind of known her off and on over the years. I don't really recall her name with shopliftings, although maybe something that she started doing more often, just not getting caught. But again, and really being willing to try to work with her and do all that. But I mean, once it's too many, it's this, oh yeah, I did that. I mean, it's just too much. And especially when it's all the items that are being stolen to be sold for drugs, and that's what we're seeing. And people are stealing Tide Pods and stuff to wash clothes.
Dimension 2360.
Y'all get my keys, and I guess y'all.
Didn't buy anything for
got a medical alarm, custom coatings and repairs, 117.
So you didn't even steal anything for a kid. It's just steak and Tide Pods.
They tried to call back the room, the owner got no answer. Yeah, I'm showing them right.
Question is she training for Single 41 wherever she left it, or is that like a debt being paid, or what? You know, what's the economy of it? Kind of we don't understand. Is this anybody for here?
Yes. I live here. Oh, sorry.
You can just tell them what's going on. Do you know any of these folks?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yes. Okay.
On screen, I can't locate the caller, and I'm the employee here.
Huh? What you say?
Jim, we'll send my call back.
Huh?
What's your...
Got that. Oh.
What's your hand drop? Is this her?
My mama's house.
Oh, okay, sorry. She gonna sneak it in there. She'll be alright. She should be alright.
I don't know. I'm good. I know
There's 2270, we got no answer on callback.
Part of a major shakeup, and let's be real, this ain't just a regular programming issue.
This is a sign that corporate media is making moves due to the Trump era being reconvened. For years, Joy Reid has been a staple at the MSNBC plantation. I mean, she's been a staple as an attack dog for MSNBC.
Well, here's an alternative thought. Make your own dinner, MAGA. Make your own sandwiches. Wipe your own tears. Troll amongst yourselves with Elon and leave us alone. You got your heart's desire, the president you dreamed of and worship instead of Jesus. And this time, you didn't even have to storm the Capitol, smash the windows, or try to kill police officers or issue death threats to poll workers. See? You did it just by voting this time. Congrats.
She pushed Democrats' talking points, no matter how ridiculous, no matter how frivolous, no matter how inaccurate, she pushed them like a good soldier. But now, even her own network is done with her. So why? Let's break it down.
Show had value, and that that what I was doing had value. And in the end, I'm sorry, I try not to cry on TV. And I think this is kind of like me on TV, so I apologize. And then it mattered. I see Karen is there, and she's been texting me as well. And so what I will just say is that in the end, thank you. Where I land is that the moment of guilt that I felt, that I went hard on so many issues, whether it was the Black Lives Matter issues of a young baby or a mom or a dad that was killed, or when we opened up people's eyes to the fact that Asian Americans were being targeted, and not just black folks, or went hard for immigrants who've done nothing but come to this country like my parents did and try to make a life and defended them, or whether we've talked about what the president is doing that is subversive to the Constitution, that is injurious to our liberty, defending books that people find inconvenient, that Nicole Hannah-Jones put into our spirit, that we need to understand 1619 as the real founding of this country, whether it's talking about any of these issues, and yes, whether it's talking about Gaza and the fact that we as the American people have a right to object, to little babies being bombed. And where I come down on that is I'm not sorry. I am not sorry that I stood up for those things, because those things are of God. And you know, I'm a church girl too, and those are the things that I was taught were of God. And so,
okay, Joy Reid threw everything against the wall here to try to shift blame for this. And folks, here's the deal, man. There is no blame shifting that's going to work for this. At the end of the day, it's not just her. Look, she did not get terminated because of Gaza, or should have been terminated. People realize it's been over a year. So you didn't lose a job over there. That's not why you got. You didn't get terminated because of Gaza. You didn't get terminated because of immigrants. You didn't get terminated for sticking up for black people either. You got terminated because people stopped watching you. Okay? And it hasn't just been her. Folks, there's a swing. There's a thing that's happening with media right now, and it's moving away from people like Joy Reid. It's moving away from the center, whatever this is, the center. And that's not working. Liberal media is in trouble. It's not just her. Jim Acosta stepped down. Jim Acosta's gone. CNN anchor Jim Acosta, who had gained a reputation for his antagonizing questions towards Trump during his first term, announced he was leaving the network after 20 years. They did Jim Acosta the same way they did Don Lemon. They moved Acosta from 10 a.m. to 2 a.m. They moved that brother from 10 in the morning to 2 in the morning. Damn, he won't leave. He won't leave. What do you got to do to him? I don't know. Put him in the back. Put his desk against the wall. Turn it against the wall. Make him look at the wallpaper. Jesus, what we got to do to this guy? We shamed him. He's sitting at the table, filing his nails, eating his magazines, eating pumpkin seeds. It's a reshuffling of the network. It laid off 6% of its workforce. 6%. Also ramped up its digital efforts. There's been a general decline in cable news viewership across the board. Everybody on the cable news programming is down. That's on the liberal side of the coin, baby. Everybody's down. It ain't just CNN and MSNBC. It's not just MSNBC. It's also CNN. That's the point, okay? So that's the first thing, okay? So this idea is just Joy Reid is laughable because it's not accurate, okay? I don't know if you noticed or not, Jim Acosta's white guy, he ain't there no more. 3 years ago when they got rid of Don Lemon, it wasn't because he was black, it wasn't because he was gay, got rid of him because his numbers was down. He was difficult, he didn't like it. He didn't like losing his own show to be going on a panel show with a couple of women who probably felt like he earned his stripes. He deserves to have his own show. So they humiliated him, and then there was enough. Rubber met the road, and that was all she said. And then for some reason, we got a contingent of black people that when they see something happen to somebody black, they think it's just because they black. And all of a sudden they get to rewrite history and pretend they spent their whole life as a Black Panther member. All of a sudden they was, Malcolm X. Dropping truth bombs all the time. That's all they do. Stokely Carmichael. James Baldwin, you were not Don Lemon. You were not James Baldwin. We would have told you. But we got people that believe they are because we are so hungry for people to actually fight on our behalf that we will anoint anybody with a tan. The Reid suffered a major slump in ratings since the 2024 election. Nielsen Media Research revealed that Reid's show averaged about 750,000 viewers in early December, a 47% decline from 1.4 million. Stephen A's right, give it up to Stephen A. Okay, she achieved the 1.4 million average leading up to election day. So on February 20, Reid's show was reported to have around 779,000 viewers, while Fox, Laura Ingraham, had an estimated 3.4 million. Folks, it's unsustainable. This cannot last. You cannot rock like this. Okay? In January, Reid called Trump an insurrectionist over his alleged role in January 6, 2021 attack on the Capitol, while describing his return to the White House as an eventual violent transfer of power. Reid posted a video on TikTok in July urging Democrats to support President Joe Biden's re-election campaign to keep Hitler out of the White House. Keep Hitler out of the White House. This is the rhetoric. Listen, this is what happened. And I've been through this myself. When your audience, when you created an audience with a certain brand and things don't work, you can become vicious. You become vicious. And that only makes things worse because nobody wants to watch vicious unless you're going after the power structure, unless you're going after the powerful. And she was going after Trump, but she couldn't get her jaw. She couldn't bite Trump. She couldn't get him. She couldn't hit him the way she needed to. And what happened was the demoralization. People were demoralized after Trump won a second time. Democrats were demoralized. They just wanted to get away from politics. And all they got is angry Joy Reid shouting, "The sky is falling" every night. This is not a good recipe. And she had dug a hole so far that she could not come back from it. There was no coming back to her senses. There was no evening out of her message. It get worse and worse. Numbers are getting lower and lower and lower. And at what point do you say, hey, you know what? She ain't gonna turn the corner on this. You think they wanted to get rid of her? You don't think they didn't know they were gonna hear this? The pushback from people going, this racist. No, that's all what Reid talked about is race. Every segment has something to do with Trump being a racist. But she would never call out racism in the Democratic Party or call out racism at her own network. She wouldn't do that. I don't remember doing it. She'll probably do it now. Don't matter now, does it? Anybody can talk about the jobs after they left. You know what they used to do? You know what they used to do to the food in the walk-in? In Popeyes, used to leave the walk-in food in there for too long, man. I seen them do it. I got a video on my channel. Guy who formerly worked at, I think it was the Golden Corral or something. He filmed like the food being left out. First viral video I have on my channel. Second viral video on my channel, 2013, was Reid reporting on a guy at the Golden Corral who worked there, who filmed what they were doing because it was his last day there. He filmed the atrocities of the back line of the food and how they were keeping the food. That's how Joy Reid can do. Now, you can't blow a whistle when you don't work there no more. Okay, Joy Reid's gonna try to blow a whistle. But guess what, Joy Reid? You can't be a whistleblower when they take your whistle. Okay? That's how that works. You can't be calling yourself a whistleblower. You can't be fighting for the people against the corrupt media only after you lost your cushy ass job. Everybody want to complain about the job when they don't get to do it no more. And they never quit. Is that because they said, I'm tired of this? That'd be different if Joy Reid said, I'm tired of this. And I'm gonna fight for the people. I ain't gonna die falling on no ice. I'm gonna die fighting for the people. That ain't what Joy Reid said. So please don't have a selective memory about reality. Don Lemon say, I ain't gonna die in my bed sleep. Maybe you will. They come feds come in. But he didn't say, I ain't gonna die in no car crash. Nah, Don Lemon got fired. Chris Rock said it best. Chris Rock said, Biggie and Pop, those brothers didn't get assassinated. Those brothers got shot. Joy Reid and Don Lemon. They got shot. They didn't get assassinated. But they're replacing Joy Reid's show with 2 black people and 1 Mexican person, Latino, I guess. So how you gonna say it's race, man? I mean, are we that bad, Johnson? I mean, Simone Sanders is black. Her and Michael Steele are foundational black Americans. And they're replacing Joy Reid, who just told you in the clip she respects the immigrants because immigrants is what she is. Her parents are immigrants and da-da-da-da-da. and you still let it be about race. Y'all still, that's what we're using? She just said, do I gotta rewind it? I don't know, maybe we should rewind it, Tim, because maybe some people weren't paying attention. Maybe that's why they want to make her pariah.
Parents did and tried immigrants who've done nothing but come to this country like my parents did and try to make a life and defended them.
There you go. Get what I'm saying? Simone Sanders, I look, I don't like the way she flip-flop from Bernie Sanders to Kamala Harris to Joe Biden or whatever. That's, she a mercenary. Simone Sanders is a mercenary, okay? It is what it is. But now that I learned more about Bernie, I'm like, okay, I get it. He was full of shit too. She sat there watching him like, look at this guy. I thought he was real. Maybe that's what made her be the way she is. Could be. Simone Sanders better be the real one. Then she worked with Bernie like, she voted into Bernie and she realized, this guy, he's horrible. Anyway, the point is this. They replaced the tether with 2 foundational black Americans, and you still said they don't like black people. Now, MSNBC may not have a thing for the blacks. I don't know. They keep paying them well, certain ones, but I don't know. They got rid of, what's her name? The one that, you Tariq Nasheed listening people, you Seven Samuels listening black men just need to get themselves right. Horrible things she said, talking down to black men like we were garbage. Tiffany Cross, that's her name. There you go. I threw you wrong, Tiffany Cross. You deserve to be memorialized for your stupidity and your rank amateur rant, dissing the only people that really had your back, that you just shitted on them. You thought white women were clapping for you? Never. The point is this, man. This ain't race. If it was race, they would have hired somebody else. They would not be replacing her. They brought more black people with them. But those people that are here, maybe Michael Steele has more credibility in the space of talking about Republicans because he is one. I don't know what it is. Even though he's starting to sound like Roland Martin, I don't know what it is, man. Michael Steele sounding horrible nowadays. That's not the point. The point is, there's a lot of things about Joy Reid. One of those being the ratings. Number two, so that was bad. Number two, they're replacing her with black people, more black people. So you can't say it was a black problem because why are they gonna put another black person in? And don't tell me that Simone Sanders is back on, I don't know, they about to do the same type of job. I mean, I don't see much difference in the talking points other than, Simone doesn't get as vicious as Joy Reid. But anyway, Simone Sanders, Michael Steele, and Alicia Mendez, that's the names. The same Democratic narratives, just with new faces. Meanwhile, Jen Psaki, Biden's former press secretary, is getting more airtime. So MSNBC is dumbing down on White House approval media and dumping the voices that aren't landing anymore. That's what they're doing. Jen Psaki's numbers suck. So that point, valid. But nobody will make that point. Rachel got out there, she said a lot, but she didn't say the truth. She didn't say the whole truth. And the whole truth would be, Jen Psaki should be gone. If it was about ratings. Joy Reid, let's try and get MSNBC sued till the brakes come off. And let's keep it real. They gave her a pass, and I knew she was going to be dumpster juice ever since she got over the fake hacking scandal. This woman they unearthed blog posts where she was saying some homophobic crap that got Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart was supposed to host the Oscars. He made one joke about his son. If his son was gay, he would hit him in the head with a dollhouse. On Twitter. He said it on Twitter. Not even at a show. He said it on Twitter, like a joke on Twitter years ago. They found that. And the Academy said, hey, we're going to have you host the Oscars. Psych. No, it was the Grammys. He was going to host the Grammys. And they said, no, we can't do that now because you need to apologize for this. The Academy was like, I can't apologize for that. It was a joke. I told a joke. I'm a comedian. I love my son. And if I hit him with a dollhouse, who put him in the dollhouse? It'd have been me. That was the kicker to it. See? Get it? Get it? They were like, no, we don't get it. Get out. And so Kevin Hart lost an opportunity to host the Grammys over a joke on Twitter. Joy Reid had her own blog site where she was making all types of homophobic comments in her blog about Democratic operatives. It was the Democratic Florida governor or something, whatever, Christie or something. Anyway, she was called him. She was misgendering him and all this type of shit. You know? And you know what she said? It wasn't me. That's why she got like Shaggy and she was like, it wasn't me. Somebody must have hacked. Well, Joy, your site is down. This is the Wayback Machine. The Wayback Machine takes pictures of the internet in a given time space, and then when you look for it, it is a copy of what appeared back in the day. It's like those Google Maps pictures you see people showing. They show you a house in 2011 at 2 o'clock in the afternoon and somebody's watering the grass. Like back at 2 o'clock in 2012, it was watering the grass, whatever. And you can go back and this is it in 2016. There is no grass, it's concrete. Oh, what happened to the neighborhood? See what happened? You know those pictures, they do this a lot on TikTok. Well, that's what the Wayback Machine does. It gives you the ability to look back in time. Joy Reid said she got hacked. Somebody hacked the archives of the Wayback Machine. That's where that came from, because it couldn't have been her. So they let her get away with it. They let her keep her job. They let her keep her job. She cried a little like she did here. They let her keep her job. They gave her passes. She compared Trump's deportation policy to the Holocaust. There's such a thing as going too far. I don't even do that. I got an independent show, and you know what has never happened? I've never had anybody say, I said some shit like that. She compared Trump deporting people back to where they live, the Holocaust. MSNBC barely reacted. That's how bad it got. She blamed black women's low voter turnout on white women portraying America. Yeah, she blamed black women's low voter turnout on white women not voting for Biden. Instead of blaming Kamala. This is the extent of how far she was going to ride for the Democratic Party, which is truly her undoing. There had to be, I know it's a lot of black women out there that like Joy Reid. It has to be. Somebody got to like it. But that makes sense to you? Black women didn't vote for Biden because they are tired of carrying the water for white women. That just goes to show you Biden wasn't doing nothing for them because they weren't voting for him because of what he was doing for them. See what I'm saying? Or what his presidency was going to mean for their lives. Because if you're going to make my life better, I ain't voting to help this person or that person. I'm voting to help my family. I'm voting because this is what's best in the interest of my country and my family, the people I care about. I'm not doing this to curry nobody, no way. So that whole line of thought didn't make sense. But she got away with it. So MSNBC's been trying to clean house for a long time. This started before the 2024 election. Trump returned and forced media to rethink their strategy. What can they do? They all thought that Trump was going to jail, Johnson. You got to understand, they thought this guy was gone. They thought they never had to deal with him. Oh my God, Steve Bannon's back. Trump is back. Who knew? MSNBC is preparing for the Comcast spinoff. They're worried about losing NBC News as a resource, so they're cutting what's not working. The Reid Show had been doing well, trust me. They would not be canceling it. So where will Joy go now? Now she's going to really fight for us. Yeah. She's going to do that same old thing where we talk about all the problems black people got. And then just when it's just about time to blame the Democratic Party, she's going to pull up and find a way to blame Trump. Just like Don Lemon does every night. He'll talk about all the bad things that are going on, but just when he could just go right there and say, Democrats suck, he'll say, and Trump is evil. And somehow he'll blame Megyn Kelly. Yeah. As if Megyn Kelly let
Joy Reid have it. And look, but I know for a fact, I got a feeling. Now, I don't know for a fact, but I got a feeling that when Megyn Kelly lost her gigs, so Megyn Kelly went Fox News, MSNBC, to her own stuff, or The Blaze, or whatever that is, I got a feeling Joy Reid said something. Or she laughed. And sometimes you ain't the only one to get to laugh. You know what I'm saying? That happens. So will Joy Reid end up as YouTube or YouTube podcast or whatever, doing some type of, what is it? I think she already has her own, what's that thing everybody does? Substack. She has a Substack already, just like Costa. Or will she go for Roland Martin? Trying to keep the DNC talking points alive. Trying to get Patreons before, like Tim Black, as if she wasn't making millions and millions of dollars a year. Corporate America does not care about loyalty. That don't exist. There's no, corporate media does not care about loyalty. You serve a purpose, and when that purpose is gone, they throw you out. Who knew? It's just like any other job. It's just like any other job. This is not just about Joy Reid. This is about the decline of partisan, scripted corporate media. They will replace her with another Democratic mouthpiece. You best believe that's what they're going to do, because that's what they need. They would have kept her if she was a better mouthpiece. People are waking up. This is why independent news matters. It matters what we're doing on this show. It matters that we're trying to do our best to call it out. We do not pull punches. I never told anybody to vote for Donald Trump. What I'm saying, but I'm very clear what I want, though. I'm very clear. I want you out of the burning house of the Democratic Party. Tim Black. The Tim Black Show gives America the raw truth it deserves, and my mission is to get black people out of the burning house that's known as the Democratic Party. That is our mission. I am straight up, I'm honest about that. If Joy Reid gave you a mission statement about what her show was about, what would it say? Would it say, I'm here to speak the truth and truth that's going to save America, the truth that America needs, the raw truth for America, what they deserve to hear, and that my mission is to get black Americans out of the burning house, which is the Democratic Party? Would she say that? What would be her mission statement? I think a mission statement would go something like, I'm here to do whatever the Democratic Party want me to do in order to stop Donald Trump. That's what she was doing. For the most part, that's what her show was. Now, what happens when that person doesn't get weaker but gets stronger and bigger and gets the big job, and you sit there looking like, oops. After you talked all this smack for 3 years about he was never coming back, he was going to go to jail. People forget the segments. She sat her, Rachel Maddow, Shinseki, all these talk this, man. All of them sat around for 3 years telling the audience Trump was a goner. She did the same thing. She did the same thing in 2018 or 2016, 2015. She laughed at the idea that Trump could get elected the first time. She laughed, said he was going to go to jail 2017, 2018. She laughed, saying he was going to lose to Biden the second run. And she was wrong both times. Is it possible getting it that wrong consecutively can make you lose the audience? She's not a weatherman. She's supposed to get the weather right sometimes. She got it wrong twice in a row. And she said it with her chest out. I mean, nobody was more brazen, more emphatic, more of an attack dog than than Joy Reid. Nobody. And she was wrong. And I think she was a little bit embarrassed. Hell, more than a little bit embarrassed. I think she was humiliated. And with that came extra venom in Hitler, calling him Hitler, and deporting people who are here illegally as Holocaust, even though Biden had done the same thing. Biden deported a lot of people too. Y'all don't know that. He just let in a lot of people, but he deported a lot of people too. Joe Biden quietly has supported more people than Trump, obviously. And Obama was a hell of a deporter. Why was it when Obama, she was commentating when Obama was president. Why wasn't she saying that Obama, or why wasn't she saying that, Biden? Why did she say Biden was, sending people to the Holocaust, putting people through a Holocaust when he was deported? Why is it just Trump? See, these types of things, I know when you actually believe that Trump is Hitler, maybe you don't care that words supposed to mean something, that they have definitions. But I think it matters. And at the end of the day, to try to wrap that in, the first thing she said was, what'd she say, folks? I talked about Trayvon Martin. Remember the time that I was talking about Black Lives Matter?
And thank you. And then it mattered. I see Karen is there. This is kind of like me on TV, so I apologize. And then it mattered. I see Karen that in the end, thank you, is that I went hard on so many issues, whether it was the Black Lives Matter issues of a young baby or a mom or a dad that was killed, or when we opened up people's eyes to the fact that Asian Americans were being targeted and not.
Yeah, but, Asian Americans got targeted for like 2 weeks. They got a hate crime bill like the 3rd week. And it was random events. It wasn't even like, let me tell y'all something, man. This is why this is so disgusting. And when I see people that I don't know where they get their news from or what they believe, Johnson, if Asian Americans are being beat up and attacked like Black Americans have been beat up and attacked by racists, they'd have left and went back to their country. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It was a lot for them, but it was nothing like the numbers we put out. Let's just put it this way. I don't even know Dennis Rodman was a good basketball player, one of the greatest centers, one of the greatest rebounders and blockers, and of any player ever played basketball in the NBA. Okay, we can admit that. That's Dennis Rodman, but he was not a prolific scorer. Okay, but so let's just say Asian attacks were to basketball where Dennis Rodman was the scorer. And what I'm saying was there wasn't big numbers going out, okay? But when Rodman, whatever he would hit a basket, it'd be a big deal because he didn't make baskets. And when he got to the free throw line and hit a basket, like, my God, that's how it was seeing somebody Asian getting beat up or getting punched or something. It was a big deal because it never happened. That's not what happened. Now, Steph Curry, Kyrie Irving, these are prolific scorers. That's black people. Black people, when it comes to getting your ass kicked, getting beat up by racists, we're the Steph Curry of putting points up on that. You know what I'm saying? So when we get beat up, when we get, you look at the numbers, it's like 10 times when black people get beat up by cops, or when we get beat up by individual racists or whatever, these hate crimes. So when people say we need a black hate crime bill, that's what they're saying. Because the numbers is just so lopsided. I'll tell you it wasn't. Roland said it wasn't. Yeah, Roland's a liar. Roland knows that all bills are called one thing, but they actually are another thing. Like, the bill was, we're going to do this for justice and policing or some crap like that. But the force that pushed it through Congress was the Asian hate crime portion in it. And that was the impetus behind the bill. And that's why when it was debated on the floor, there were Asian American Congress people carrying the torch for it. Because that's why. If you don't believe me, just go watch the tape. You'll see Miss Haru, I think it was the one out of Hawaii, was one of the sisters, Asian sister, talking about the need of the hate crime bill to protect Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders. That's what it was. So I don't know why Roland felt like he had to perpetuate that story. Well, I know it is. You can't be honest. You gotta carry water for the Democratic Party. I'm getting off the topic. The point is, Joy Reid want credit for everything except keeping the numbers up. And that's what it is. And everybody upset and crying. She wasn't there for you. She was there for that money. She was there for the paycheck. And that's what she got. And it's a cash curry business, and as long as you put asses in the seats, you can keep a job. And if the money they were paying her, and the money that Acosta was making, I guess, the money that whoever else got let go, Lester Holt, I don't know why Lester left. Why Lester leave? Lester left for a reason. But none of these people are hurting financially. Yeah, they'll be okay. It's our broke asses I'm worried about. I'm worried about you and I. I'm worried about what I'm gonna do if I can't do this show. You know, I'm worried about what you're gonna do if you hurt your foot tomorrow. If you blow your back out, you ain't got insurance. What you gonna do? You know what? Won't nobody be crying a tear for you except people that know you and love you. Joy Reid, for some reason, has black people thinking she was riding for black people because she did a Black Lives Matter segment. Oh my God, amazing! Woo! I covered every day of the George Floyd trial because I cared about it. I cared about that story. I cared about it. I cared about Tamir Rice. I cared about all of the deaths that I covered. Botham Jean, I thought that was Botham John, who got killed in his own house. I'm like, how could this? You know, there were so many stories, man. I can't name them all right now. But that's not a reason. They must never see they had you around because you did nice things. They must never see they had you there because you made money. Okay? And you ran, and they fed. Another thing, last thing I'm gonna say on this, guys, let me just say this. The entire cable news media structure has been eating off Trump for years, almost 10 years, man. Unprecedented. Trump saved cable news. All these people hate Trump. I don't know why. He's the only reason why they had jobs this long. But the tide changed. And all the people that ate off him for all these years now are not able to eat off of him like they did in the past, only because the Democrats got so bad and so lazy. So bad and so lazy that there really is no counter to Trump. You know? No counter. So that's what it is.
America, there's a thing about both white vigilantism and white tears, particularly male white tears.
For a lot of people who are very upset about what did not occur yesterday when it comes to the Jeffrey Epstein files and Pam Bondi and what she said she would do. And like we pointed out yesterday, if you guys were here yesterday, we watched where Pam Bondi was talking about the release of the Epstein files and what she was going to release. And I pointed out her phrasing of possibly, maybe, should, whatever. And the fact that she never said new information. So let's just jump into this. So the amount of information that was actually released yesterday was dog shit. It was nothing. It was a nothing burger, as a lot of people like to say. The fact that the first picture that I saw of the Epstein files being released were from social media influencers holding binders and smiling was weird to me. It felt very photo op-ish and very planned, and I wouldn't be smiling about it. Maybe that's just me. I don't think that the trafficking of underage girls is a grinning situation. You know what I mean? Like, these people are walking out with these binders and they're holding binders up like this, and it's like, what are you doing? Like, I don't think you understand the severity of what we're supposed to be learning here, right? So let me just bring you guys up to date. I'm sure a lot of you have already seen exactly what happened or did not happen with the whole release of the Epstein files. What's interesting to me, let me just go ahead and try to keep all my thoughts in order, which is very difficult to do. Y'all know how this works here on Squirrel Tribe. But Pam Bondi, weeks ago, went on mainstream media and talked about how she had the files on her desk. Okay? She kept saying she has the files on her desk, that she's looked through the files and that they are atrocious and that they are going to make so many people mad and sick and whatever else. Yet then yesterday, this is where I get very, very confused, okay? I am not speaking negatively about Pam Bondi, but I am speaking from a place of not really understanding what the goal here is for her, or what the actual role is, or because it's interesting. Like I said, she went on mainstream media and talked about how she had the files on her desk. So we think, obviously, we the people are going to think she has everything. She has seen everything, and she is going to bring us all the information. And then yesterday, out of nowhere, the binders that were released, again, dog shit. There's more in a kid's syllabus for school than were in these binders. There's nothing there. There's nothing new, number one. Number two, everything was so redacted that it was ridiculous. Black lines through everything. No names were released, nothing like that, right? So you're thinking to yourself, wait, if you say you have the entire bookmarks that I have here, because I'm trying to keep all the information together. What's crazy, this is, okay, so Chad Prather over on X posted up a picture of him holding onto the binder, right? He did a whole live stream going through what's in the binder, which again is nothing. It's a whole nothing burger. But he wrote yesterday on X, he said, today I met with President Trump, VP J.D. Vance, AG Pam Bondi, and FBI Director Kash Patel in the Oval Office. I left with an interesting souvenir. Weird way to phrase that, but okay. The Trump DOJ has everything. He says everything. The Trump Department of Justice has everything. The most transparent administration in history. Pam Bondi confirmed there are thousands of files still held in the SDNY and will be delivered to the DOJ by February 28th. And then, again, he's got the binder here. And in that binder, it was him and numerous other influencers that got these and had live streams about it, talking about it, and what's in it. And if she has everything, she can't say she has everything and then at the same time say that the SDNY is holding things and that she doesn't have everything. This is where I get bothered by these things. You can't talk out both sides of your mouth when you're claiming to be a transparent administration, right? Now, I'm not saying this is on Trump. I'm very confused on what the actual truth is, and why they are circling it instead of just like letting it out. I don't know how to phrase all these things. I'm going to work on trying to put this out there as, you know, educated sounding as possible. But I do want to say Laura Loomer, I have lost personally all respect for Laura Loomer. I think she's absolute trash at this point, and I should explain why. I've said this before. She made a comment about how single mothers are the dregs of society and that single mothers raise shitty children and whatever else. And she didn't specify, you know, what kind of single mother she was talking about. I was raised by a single mother, so for those reasons alone, Laura Loomer can go fuck herself. There is nothing wrong with a single mother. There's something wrong with some women who happen to be single mothers, but being a single mother does not immediately make you a bad person or your children shit. So for Laura Loomer to have that conversation on X like it was a normal thing, lost every single bit of respect for her. Because what if you're a single mother because your husband died in combat protecting this country? What if you're a single mother because your husband or significant other, whatever, passed away from an illness and now you are a single mother? She made it seem like anybody who happened to be raising a child without a man in the home was trash, and for those reasons alone, Laura Loomer is absolute dog shit to me. So let's continue on. I am going to say though that she posted some things about the whole Pam Bondi situation, and I can see where she's coming from, although I have zero trust left in her. I feel like Laura Loomer, everybody talked during the election period how she was such a huge Trump fan and she was doing everything, you know, to help the Trump administration. But when I look at her posts, which I unfollowed her, but I still go check every once in a while just to see if maybe she has removed her head from her ass. I will go check and see, and everything she posts feels like one of those rhino situations, that Republican in name only, because everything she is posting up is meant to sound completely negative against Trump and the Trump administration and everybody that he's put in his cabinet. And I don't see how you can say that you are 100% backing Trump and his decisions while at the same time talking absolute trash about every decision that he has made. I am completely upfront with you guys. I like Donald Trump. I do not like everything about Donald Trump. We've had this conversation numerous times, and my thoughts on that will not change. I am not going to agree with everything that he does. It would be weird if I agreed with every single thing that man does. Nobody should agree with every single thing that man does. You shouldn't agree with every single thing anybody does. Everybody has faults. You should not look at anybody like they are absolute perfection that's walking this earth right now. Let's phrase that way. Trump is not perfect, all right? There will be issues with everything. So this whole thing here, Laura Loomer, she says, I'm told the organizers of the event at the White House yesterday have told all of the influencers involved to post selfie videos denying Pam Bondi's involvement and to claim they all had no idea they were getting binders. Everything is so scripted. Pam is the one who handed them the binders and strutted into the meeting to make a big deal about the binders. How can they say she wasn't involved now? Are we resorting to lying now? So this is the thing that throws me off. Laura Loomer wasn't there, so how does she know how Pam Bondi strutted into a meeting, right? We don't know that for a fact. But then she says, are we resorting to lying now? I don't know that I want to call it lying, but that last sentence did strike a chord with me, or a nerve with me, because I'm feeling the same sort of way. Not that we're being lied to, but that we're being misdirected, misguided, something or other. I don't know. I feel like they're going to give more information, but the fact that Pam Bondi said she had everything on her desk, maybe she thought she did at the time, but if she knew everything she had on her desk, why was what they released nothing new and a nothing burger and anything like that? It doesn't make sense to me. So then I'm looking through here, and the persistence, you guys know, to win the election, right? So this is what Scott Pressler posted. He said, here's what happened. Today at the White House, I did receive the Epstein Files Phase 1 binder by order of Attorney General Pam Bondi and FBI Director Kash Patel. It's in quotation marks, right? Epstein flight logs, redacted supporting information, and a list of redacted masseuses. This 200-page binder is not a smoking gun. These are the documents that the FBI gave to AG Bondi, which already makes you wonder because now Kash Patel is FBI. So anyway, continue. It says, however, Bondi sent a letter to FBI Director Patel today stating that the FBI has been withholding thousands of pages of documents. So to be clear, the FBI was hiding information on the Epstein files. Tomorrow, AG Bondi will receive the rest of the documents relating to Epstein. Tomorrow being today, February 28th. That's what we're told. And Scott says, I was told there is an embargo on the information, and out of respect to the president, his administration, and the seriousness of these alleged crimes, I'm holding on to the binder until Bondi does a presser sharing the information or releases it to the public. As soon as we have the green light, I will share publicly what I was given. Now, other people that got the binders have already shared publicly some things that were given, right? The fact remains AG Bondi and FBI Director Patel were not given all of the documents concerning Epstein. My replies are turned on for blah, 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 blah. That part doesn't matter. If a binder is titled Phase 1, there will be other binders. And then he, in quotation, put the most transparent administration in history and the 45th and 47th President of the United States, okay? So Scott Pressler says he got the binder, and instead of talking about it or doing anything with it, he said he was waiting for Pam Bondi to give the okay. Why this is where it's throwing me off, because why are we turning it into some theatrical
back and forth
release? Like, why are we timing how this is released? Why are we staging how this is released? Why are we phasing how this is released? This man was absolute trash and ruined numerous young people's lives. Why are we not just putting everything out there? Throw that shit in the fire and burn, baby, burn. Like, let it go. I don't agree with the way that things are being done right this second. Now, let's be obviously, Captain Obvious here. I'm not in the Trump administration. I'm not in the White House. I'm not part of the Epstein files. I don't know how any of this stuff works. Maybe there are reasons for why they're doing the things that they are doing. But at the end of the day, from outside looking in, as we the people are watching this not unfold the way we've been promised this was going to unfold, it really does rub you the wrong way. And it's going to, and this is what's really, really sucky about this, it's going to take away some of the trust from the Trump administration, from the people who voted for the Trump administration. It's going to take away some trust of Pam Bondi. It's going to take away some trust of Kash Patel. It's going to take away some trust of Trump. And that's just how it's going to be, because there's so many people who expected, and I guess that's where our problem lies, because we expect these things, right? Because we were told it, we expect it in a certain way. It's kind of on me for having the feelings that I'm having about it, you know, expecting it to be done the way I thought it would be done. Although they are technically releasing the things they said they would release, it's still whatever. But I feel like it's going to cause a little bit of friction in the people of the, not even just the United States. There's other countries that are involved in this, other children in other places and other people in other countries that are involved. But it's going to cause friction and cracks in the foundation of trust, I think, for people in this administration, and I think that sucks. I think that sucks. Now, I want to mention this. Dom Lucre posted this on X, and he's kind of, you know, he's real dramatic sometimes, but this is important to know. On August 15th, 2019, Washington Post announced the bones that were broken in Jeffrey Epstein's neck were more typical in homicide by strangulation opposed to suicide. We all know that when Epstein ended up in jail, and the next thing you know, he's, you know, unalived, we're going, that's real effing convenient, right? It says here, on August 28th, which is just 13 days later, August 28th, 2019, it was reported that the 2 cameras outside of Epstein's cell had malfunctioned before his death. Convenient, right? On January 6, 2020, Dr. Michael Baden, the family pathologist who was hired by Jeffrey Epstein's brother Mark to oversee Epstein's second autopsy, claimed that the alleged noose didn't match wounds on the neck, which proved that he was murdered after the new autopsy. And they're saying, you know, we're going to learn more about this entire scenario in the coming days, which in theory, we should learn more in the coming days. Now, I'm going to move away from Bondi for just 1 second to talk about Gene Hackman real quickly. We talked about it yesterday, all right? And the reason I'm bringing it up is because there have been some deaths, and I feel like there will be more that are going to be real suspicious in nature now that all of the Epstein files are coming out, JFK files are coming out. You guys heard that the gentleman who jumped from the car behind Jackie Kennedy's and JFK's car, jumped out of his car and jumped onto the back of JFK's car when he was shot to protect Jackie Kennedy. He died just a couple days ago at 93 or 95. Again, in the weird timing of everything, it gives me obviously conspiracy mind frame, but it's just weird timing when you look at it. But anyway, with Gene Hackman, we talked about it yesterday. Clint Hill, thank you. Clint Hill was 93, Janine, thank you. He was the one from the JFK murder situation. The Gene Hackman situation is very interesting because in the very beginning I told you, they said Gene Hackman has passed away at 95 years old, and that's all they said. And then they go, there's been no foul play suspected. And then they go, well, actually, it was Gene Hackman was 95. He seems to have fallen somewhere in a laundry room or something like that and maybe died. But then his wife, who was 63, was in another room with an open bottle of pills and pills all around her, and she was dead and mummified. And then they found their golden retriever in a closet who was dead. But no foul play has been suspected. So then the fire department comes out and goes, no, it wasn't a carbon monoxide leak. So then, what? Okay, so you want to tell me that these 3 people or 2 people and a dog just all happened to die at the exact same time and everything else? But what's crazy is, here's what's crazy. They keep saying, I'm going to read this to you because Colin Rugg released this, and I'm just going to read it to you the way he says. Actor Gene Hackman's German Shepherd was found deceased in a bathroom closet about 15 feet from his wife's mummified body. Now, mummified is the word that the mainstream media keeps using. Mainstream media keeps using the word mummified. So I Googled. I said, explain mummified to me like I'm 5 years old and don't understand it. So, mummification refers to the process of preserving a dead body, typically to prevent decay and maintain its form for an extended period. This can occur naturally, okay, right? This can occur naturally or be done intentionally through specific techniques. Now, in the first article I read, it said mummification of her hands and feet. That's all it said, her hands and feet, okay? Historically, the term is most often associated with ancient Egypt practices where bodies were embalmed, dried, and wrapped in linen as part of religious rituals to prepare the deceased for the afterlife. The process usually involved removing internal organs, dehydrating the body with substances like natron, which is a natural salt, and then wrapping it carefully. And then it says here, in a broader sense, mummification can also happen naturally in certain environments like dry deserts, freezing conditions, or peat bogs. Well, she was in her home, not inside, not out in a dry desert, not in freezing conditions, and sure as shit, not in a peat bog. It says where the body is preserved without human intervention due to factors like lack of moisture or oxygen. Today, the term to be used loosely to describe anything preserved in a dry, shriveled state, though that's more metaphorical. More metaphorical. So, my question is, were her hands and feet mummified? Like, did somebody go in there and wrap them shits up mummy style or whatever else? Or are they trying to use it in a metaphorical sense? Because that is a massive difference between metaphorical and literal. They are going with is absolutely, if it is the literal sense of mummification, murder boo-boo, like there's no way you're going to tell me that that was a natural death. I don't know how to mummify my own hands and feet. How you going to do that? And take a bunch of pills? I have so many questions. Now, everybody, a great actor, but was he a great person? Is Gene Hackman about to be on an Epstein list? Is there something going on there? Because again, we talked about the fact yesterday that his wife is like 35 or 36 years younger than him, and they got married when she was in her mid-20s. That's not, you know, pedophilia unless they started dating or he started messing with her before that. You just never know. And then that's just gross, right? So I have questions about all that. The reason I bring that up again is because with, let me get back to where I was so I can try to remember. The whole situation of names coming out and being like literally redacted is crazy. So this is what came out. Before I get into this, I did see my whole entire screen went red for a second, which again, I love that it goes red, but I don't know what it was for. So I'm trying to figure that out. Give me 2 seconds. From Mike. Oh, Mike, you're the best. You know that home warming gift from Wise Old Squirrel. I appreciate you, Mike. I hope you understand how much I appreciate you and everything you do for me and the Squirrel Tribe. So let me back to this, because y'all know how my brain works. I'll end up in a completely different topic if I'm not careful. Okay, so this person posted this, and it says Liz Wheeler, which I don't. This is the picture of this chick holding the binder, right? Also has the binder and, you know, smiles and whatnot. This is the Epstein client list inside that binder. Inside that binder, this is what they have. Do you see any names? Do you see any names? Because I sure as shit don't see any names. And it says, again, this is the cover of the binder. And I know it's backwards because, you know, YouTube sucks. But it does say the Epstein Files Phase 1 by order of Attorney General Pamela Bondi and FBI Director Kash Patel. And then it says the most transparent, blah, 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 blah. But this right here says, I want to read this to you. Liz Wheeler is absolutely right. Wait, where Liz Wheeler said this. I probably should start there. She said, let me make this very clear. The binders were not given to us at the White House under any pretense that they contained damning Epstein information. Although that first person that I read to you, the guy, was like, it has everything. It's awful. It's blah, blah, blah. AG Bondi was pissed because the deep state swamp creatures lied to her and gave her the files in the binder, pretending the contents, yet a nothing burger, were the complete Epstein documents. But here's my question. Did Pam Bondi not open the binder before she gave the binder out to people? This is where I'm still thrown. This is where I'm still thrown. Because she can be pissed all day long, but she had to have known ahead of time exactly what was in there when she said she had them on her desk for weeks. It's not like it's sitting there and you don't like open it and look at it, right? Anyway, Liz Wheeler says, why aren't you pissed that the SDNY defied President Trump and AG Bondi and attempted to subvert your votes? Why aren't you outraged that FBI swamp traders tried to hide evidence of what we know are heinous crimes and the powerful people implicated in those crimes? Why aren't you screaming for the SDNY to give those files to Bondi, for Bondi to release them, and for Cash to absolutely level the SDNY? Now, for those of you who are curious what the SDNY is, let me just go ahead and read that to you real fast because I wanted to make sure we had everything. SDNY is an abbreviation for the Southern District of New York, but some people call it the Sovereign District of New York. It refers to a United States federal court and the U.S. Attorney's Office that operates within that jurisdiction.
All right, let's see. Last call. This is my customer. His name is if I didn't need my phone, guys, it will work all day. My phone is a trip, man. Ronnie Smith.
Your call has been forwarded to voicemail. The person you're trying to reach is not available. At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up.
Hey, Ronnie, I'm en route. Should be there by 12:30. Okay, let's call y'all girl. Ain't heard from. I know she about to lose her damn mind, as I ain't called.
Thank you for calling. Check out empty phone. Please hold while I try to connect you.
She probably a nuts.
Hey, babe, what's up?
I just thought it was time for me to give you a call.
Oh, how's everything going?
Everything's going pretty good. Bunch of dogs barking at me. I'm on the dirt road in Winterville, headed to Loganville to go see Ronnie Smith. He's got a dryer.
You're in Whoville?
Winterville. Outside Athens.
What the heck?
Listen, you hear the dogs?
I see.
I mean, this got cages of dogs. One dog's on one side, he got goats on the others. He got sheep. Listen to the goats. What you say?
He got sheep.
He got cows. What you say? What you say? You talking to me? What's up? What?